Borough Council, who is highly instrumental in preparing this park to be a reality as well. With her work on the Parks and Rec Board, the grant writing, and everything between there and where we are today. I'd like to welcome Jocelyn Myers.
Yeah!
My name is Jocelyn, in case you're unaware. I'm a former member of Borough Council, and I was the project manager here at Bennerhall Park. This park was started as a little dream that was shared by several council members, volunteers, and employees. We planned it with the notion that we could always scale back if we didn't receive all the funding we wanted. To our delight and surprise, Richlandtown became the little borough that could, and we received some of the most significant funding that the PA-DCNR awarded that year. Since that time, the project has existed only because of the volunteerism and spirit that so many of the borough and township residents have shown. I served as sort of the liaison between the volunteers and Borough Council and Parks and Rec, so I want to take a few moments to acknowledge some of the names of the people who really made significant contributions here. Obviously, our former Borough Council President, Jim, who you just heard from. When we first started talking about this park, Jim had sent me a message that said, "If anyone can do this, it's you. Write the grant." His support and encouragement was a vital part of making all of this a reality. Next, our former borough manager, Joe Geib, who unfortunately couldn't be here today due to family obligations. Joe and I co-wrote the grant applications together, along with our engineer, Kurt Jenner, from Bob Wynn's office, and that provided the original vision for this park. Even after resigning his position, Joe has still remained a part of our Parks and Recreation Committee and deserves significant recognition for his part in this project. There was a significant amount of volunteer hours that went into it. Every hour that a volunteer put into this project was an hour of pay that didn't have to be paid by your tax dollars. Some names I want to mention: Mike Runyon, who put many hours into the restroom and playground construction; Jim McCrae, who donated electrical skills and connected the restrooms; Floyd and Bob Blest, who came over and used their equipment on multiple excavation endeavors, including digging all of the holes for all of our trees; Dave Williams and George Schaefer, who took over the playground construction this spring; Danny McClanahan, our current borough employee, who has been and continues to be a driving force in improving not just this recreation center, but the community as a whole. There were literally dozens of volunteers who helped assemble the playground equipment, plant trees, and assemble accessories throughout the park. On top of the man hours contributed, our Parks and Rec volunteers raised over $30,000 so far toward the park by holding fundraisers, and we continue to do so to pay back our debts. The planning for most of these events was done by Erin Sheets, Tracy Jarrell, Danny Olson, Michelle Laux, Lisa Geib, and our regulars Carol Seibert and Polly Soliday have been a remarkable support system at each of those events. Finally, I want to thank the few key financial and support organizations that helped us here. The PA Horticultural Society, who helped us to obtain the trees for the park and continues to monitor their progress. Richland Township, our neighboring municipality and friend, was amazingly supportive. The supervisors granted many helpful exemptions in order to help us get the project completed in a cost-effective manner. The Bucks County Commissioners and the Municipal Open Space Program, who provided $220,000 toward this project, and they were nearly as excited as we were to have one of these small communities pushing forward. Finally, we have to thank the PA Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, our largest contributor and strongest advocate. It isn't a regular thing for a borough of our size with limited resources to receive the type of funding like we got. Mr. John Earl at the state office was our primary contact once the project was underway and remained our biggest advocate throughout the building progress. Mr. Fran Rupert was our first point of contact and the individual who helped us brainstorm and shape the park in its first stages. We're deeply saddened to learn that Mr. Rupert lost a battle with cancer this past summer. His spirit will continue to live on in Benner Park as well as others across our area. Building this park has been an indescribable event in my life. I was a first-year council member when this journey started, and this stay-at-home mom of 3 kids with absolutely no building experience found it challenging, time-consuming, sometimes a little frustrating, but completely and without question worth every single second. You might be looking at the sole person in the world who became choked up and teary while watching a restroom lowered in on a forklift. I can't thank this community enough for allowing me to be part of something so huge for this little borough, and for standing behind myself and council through this process. I can only hope that this park is appreciated and enjoyed long into your and my children's lives, and that the community as a whole can continue to be bonded together by improvements like these. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jocelyn, for those words. Once again, I invite Council President Robert Shin to the podium